Robert Kennedy questioned Patriarca on the stand in Congress as the Attorney General, and he asked Patriarca why he pursued a life of crime, and Patriarca's answer was like perfect. It was like, well, why do a lot of young men do a lot of things when they haven't a father? Because his father died when he was relatively young, and so he was able to endear himself pretty effectively to his listeners. You know, he knew who he was talking to because it wasn't him; it was the American people who he was on trial for, right?
This episode is brought to you by Chase & Tail, the gear brand for folks who'd rather smell like deer piss and fish guts than cologne. Whether you're in a stand freezing your tail off or knee-deep in the river lying to your buddies about the one that got away, Chase & Tail's got you covered. Built tough, no gimmicks, no glitter, just the kind of gear your granddad would respect. Check out chaseandtail.com and chase something worth bragging about. Welcome to Cumberland Unfiltered podcast.
Whoa.
I'm Caleb, and on my right here is Nacho. Nacho Brad, Nacho Mayor, and then Jason El Dino Toro.
That's right, the boogeyman.
1R.
Boogeyman of Cumberland. Yeah.
And then tonight, I don't have a huge bio on you, but I know that you are the executive producer of a place in Providence called Providence Tour Company.
That's right.
What else have you done?
Oh man, a lot of things. Yeah, it's actually very hard to succinctly describe the journey that I've been on, but I'll give you a real quick down and dirty. So I'm from New Jersey originally.
Yeah.
I came to thank you. I came to Providence in 2012 for a Johnson Wales education. Really enjoyed Providence very much. Didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I went to, in the meantime, I joined AmeriCorps. I traveled. I was over on the West Coast building houses for Habitat for Humanity for a little bit and working in a national park in Utah. Came back, still didn't know what I wanted to do. Joined Teach for America, which is another AmeriCorps program. So I was teaching middle school math in North Carolina for like really tough school, high need school. And still didn't know what I wanted to do, but knew that I liked Rhode Island a lot.
That's a lot of stuff.
So then I came back to Rhode Island, started this tour company. I had been working in hotels while I was up here, so it just kind of made sense to do hospitality stuff. And
give it up to Bradley VanDerStad.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's the intro. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, that's all the information.
I couldn't find. So you're kind of a hard person to get in touch with. You're busy all the time.
Yeah, I like to think so. Yeah.
And sometimes I put together bios like that and I read them, but hey, that worked out perfect, having him just say his own bio.
Yeah.
And then giving it up.
There it is.
Anyway, so welcome to the show.
Thanks.
What do people do? They call you Bradley? Is that like your name, or can we call you something else? Brad. I don't want to say Brad because
can we call you Brad Ford? Because we don't have a Brad, we have a Brad Ford.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying, I thought I was Nacho.
Yeah, Nacho. From now on,
Nacho Brad.
Nacho
Brad
Ford. Also Nacho Brad. Yeah, no, people usually just call me Bradley. Brad, I've always made equivalent with like that surfer guy, you know, the Brad. Yeah, and I just don't really identify with that, so I just asked people to call me Bradley. Yeah.
Bradley. Alrighty. Bradley it is.
Yeah, thanks.
So, Bradley, you kind of gave us your journey a little bit in your bio. Why tell stories, man? That's what you do, right? Why did you pick that path?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So, let's see.
I feel cheated, by the way.
Why?
I got some guy from New Jersey telling me on my tour what the Rhode Island Mafia was doing. You know, I took the tour.
We appreciate it.
And what is the name of the tour again?
I did the what was it? The Atwell's Ave food and
Crime and Cuisine.
Crime and Cuisine. It
I'd
was
love
great.
to hear it from you first. Before I talk about it, I wanted to hear you talk about it.
So it was great. It was there were two couples. I went on a date, like not a first date, but an early date. And we're looking for something interesting to do, and I wanted to do that the week before, but the time didn't work out. So we got it the next time, and it was, I think it was 6 different places they were going to eat at, which is what I was all into, and I'm a history guy, but I was like into the eating, And there were 5 different stops where we stopped and we talked about the mob history in Rhode Island, and it was great. I mean, the festival was about to go on Atwell's Ave, and as soon as we kicked it off, we went to the first and I think the second, and we ate at Venda, and then as soon as we left Venda, the sky opened up and it started to downpour. And then we did the talking while it was pouring out hard, and then when it let up, we ran to the restaurant, and then we did the talking. And
So did you do the talking in the restaurant or outside?
no, at different sites.
So outside in the rain.
Yeah, it just happened that it worked out. It worked out where the rain came, held off for. It was kind of eerie. It would hold off for 3 minutes. And the girl, you said her name was Isabella, I think.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
She would finish, we'd start walking, and all of a sudden, pow, and downpour, and we'd run to the next restaurant and jump in.
Boom.
It was great. Yeah, it was.
What'd you learn?
All about the history of the mafia, and there's a lot of people making assumptions, like a 90%. We're pretty sure this is what happened because they're the mafia. They know how to cover up their crimes.
Yeah, right.
But it's more likely than not, this is what happened to this guy that just disappeared after he confronted this other guy. You know what I mean? And it's cool. It was really cool.
Is that Jimmy Hoffa?
No, a bunch of different guys, but
Patriarcha was probably the main.
Yeah, that is one of the ones
Main
that I
focal
see.
point.
Yeah, that's one of the ones. So you have a list of things on your website where you're like, we talk about this, and this, and patriarchy is one of the ones that you have on there for sure.
Uh-huh.
But backing it up, why tell stories?
Yeah,
like
why
this?
tell
Like,
stories?
What got you into that?
I appreciate the description. I'm always looking for feedback on people.
but I have to say the thing that
Yeah.
impressed me the most was that it didn't cost that much, and you literally ate at 6 different restaurants.
Yeah.
And you had a dessert at another restaurant. If you went and bought what you bought at the restaurants, it would have cost you more than the cost of the tour.
It certainly feels like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's what impressed me the most about it.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you got good value out of it.
Yeah.
But the stories that we tell at the Providence Tour Company, our mission is to change how people understand Providence. And it's funny because I live in Providence, so most of the time I'm talking to people who live in Providence. What do you guys think about Providence? Like, just off the rip, like Providence. What do you
speaking?
think? Yeah.
So I'm an older guy, so for me it was a place to go get drunk.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The recess pub, the keg room, jerkies all over near the
Club Hill.
courthouse. Yeah,
Yeah,
what I mean? That little strip, or you go to the fish company,
Loopholes.
and,
Sure,
hot
yeah.
club.
Living room.
It was a place to go get you would pregame in Cumberland, you'd go down there, you'd get rip roaring, and then that was it.
But you also Federal Hill is also a main focal point too, right? And there's where
Yeah.
you're Italian, which back when I grew up, it was strictly Italian.
Yeah.
Like, there was like the old canteen's not there anymore, which I know goes way back, and some of those older places are not there anymore, unfortunately.
When I was in the Navy, and that was the place that we went on. All of my Navy time pretty much was at Groton Sub Base, and I did my basic enlisted submarine school there. I did my A school there, my C school, all of these different schools, and then I was stationed there.
Okay. Yeah. So you were there.
All through my training, that was kind of the place that we went to get away from the sub base.
Gotcha. Okay.
Go to Club Hell, go to all of the
Go out
different
drinking.
clubs. And that's what we did. That's what Providence was.
Yeah, as an older guy, it's a place to go have good food.
Yeah.
But as a younger guy, it was a place to go late night get.
Yeah.
It was open till 2. Everything else was only open till 1. So
So you were hanging out with the sportsmen a lot.
I don't even know what that. I don't even know what that is.
How do you know what that is?
How'd you know it was right downtown Providence? How'd you miss it?
The sportsman, yeah. It's now the Dean Hotel. Yeah,
Thank God.
changeover.
Is that really what it is?
Yeah, interesting story. It was actually it started out that building that was the Sportsman. Before it was Sportsman, was a convent. It was a place that nuns
really?
lived. Yeah, and
I
then
didn't
made
know
a
that.
big turnaround into the Sportsman, which was like borderline brothel. You know?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, no, it was not borderline.
It was, yeah.
So
Yeah.
people don't know this, but up until I forget what year it was that they legalized prostitution. Prostitution in Rhode Island was legal as long as it was
Yeah.
done indoors.
Yeah, it was like one of the last states to get rid of
Yeah,
prostitution.
and then they legalized it everywhere, indoors, outdoors. You couldn't do it outdoors. You couldn't solicit outdoors, but indoors you could. And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I was like
Indoors you could.
no, I was like overseas.
Disclaimer: this show is not for kids.
I never knew that, and I was like overseas, like I don't know when it was, but I was somewhere overseas, and all of a sudden some people start screaming at me, "Hey, Dean, you know they just legalized prostitution in Rhode Island." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" It was on like CNN or Fox or something. They're like, it was like the headline, Rhode Island. I'm like, "What?"
Were you depressed?
No, I didn't even know. I was like, wow.
There used to be all these spas all over the place, but they weren't the spa that the ladies know.
Yeah.
Different kind of spa.
Yeah. And the other side of that coin is that in my research, so I wrote a tour about Prohibition history too, which I really quite
yes.
enjoy. Women weren't allowed to drink alone in Rhode Island bars until the 70s
70s.
by law.
Wow.
Probably still
Because they
shouldn't
were,
be.
they
No,
were because it was assumed that they were
Trying to get us
prostitutes.
protested again.
Yeah, yeah, boycott it.
kidding.
No, but it was assumed by law that they were soliciting, and so they couldn't be by themselves. Yeah, by
Really?
Rhode Island state law
Wow.
until the 70s. until
That's
the
crazy.
1970s. Yeah,
70s.
yeah. So
that's late.
Yeah, it is late. Yeah, it is. So it's a little women's history for us.
No
here.
kidding,
yeah.
huh?
Uh-huh.
I did not know that.
So you wanted to kind of try to change the way people see Providence.
Right,
That's where we were at.
Because when I fine. When I had asked it, I anticipate most people who don't live in Providence talk about Providence really negatively, right? They think Providence is bad place, crime, you're gonna get robbed, you're gonna get shot at gunpoint, all this stuff, and it's not how it is at all. Like I have such a nice lifestyle, be able to walk downtown Providence. I live in the West End. It's great. Like it's so nice. And so I'm trying to help people understand that Providence is actually a really cool place that you can come, you can have a drink, you can have a nice meal, you can come spend an afternoon,
Yep.
And we're trying to change that perception. So we're trying to build experiences that people really like, and trying to build experiences that people can kind of see themselves in, So, like you picked the Crime and Cuisine tour, maybe something you were kind of interested in. We also have an architecture tour for people who like that. We've got a history tour for people who like that. We're trying to like meet people where they are, sort of. It's been a fun project.
So that's a bunch of different avenues. Like those aren't at all related to one another. How do you like come up with your storyline?
Yeah.
Like how do you know what the history is?
Yeah, a lot of research. Yeah, I was I immersed myself in architecture for like months. I was just reading architecture books, trying to, get the stories behind the architecture, why this building was built this way. Learned about revival architecture means that it was just another period of time where that architecture was popular, and then they made it popular again. Just like clothes fashion comes back around, so does architecture.
Right.
Retro, they
So-
call it, right? Retro.
Retro, basically, yeah, retro. But
My
that's
mullet when I was a teenager is going to come back pretty soon.
Your mother's coming back?
No, mullet. Yeah, mullets are back in, actually. Mullets have come back around, yeah.
I'd like to see where that's going to be at.
It's going to be in the back. That's where the mullet's at.
Yeah, but on your back? Like your back hair?
He's gonna be mullet. He'll be mullet fishing. Just the hair on the back.
Because I don't see what you're going to use. I'm looking. I don't see
That
what
was
you're
a
going to
sweet.
use.
That was a sweet mullet, though. I gotta say.
You had a mullet?
Oh, dude, you haven't seen his mullet?
No.
I had an unbelievable. I had like the Billy Ray Cyrus mullet.
Yeah, you did.
Thing was
Can we
awesome.
put that on the Facebook page?
It was awesome. Anyway,
But yeah, so that's the vibe, though.
Yeah.
That's the vibe. Yeah. So architecture does the same thing, comes back around. So you hear Greek revival.
Yeah.
It's because it was popular in ancient Greece.
Yeah.
And now it's popular again. Yeah. So like just kind of fun.
State House is like a
Exactly.
like a
Yeah.
Greek revival.
Yes.
Maybe,
No, it is.
maybe
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
Greek revival.
Greek revival. It's called neoclassical.
Yeah.
Neo is the same thing. Neo just means come back around. Classical, ancient Greece. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, that was really fun to learn about, and we've got the Haunted Authors Tour. So there's a guy in Providence who is
Lovecraft, right?
Lovecraft,
Yeah.
exactly, and
Is that what you and your girl was going to do? Lovecraft? Were y'all going to do that tour?
You don't know what it's about.
What a weird.
What is
dude.
What is Lovecraft?
Lovecraft's
He's
a
an author.
writer.
He's like a really popular author. Like
We're gonna find out. I
Yeah,
guess.
like
yeah,
a
he's an
horror,
author.
sci-fi,
He like
author.
invented
HB, right?
Yeah,
Lovecraft?
H.P. Lovecraft, Howard Phillips. Yeah, exactly. So this guy basically invented like science fiction horror, basically.
Never mind.
Cosmic horror they
No
call
kidding.
it. Yeah,
That's pretty sweet.
yeah, and he lived in Providence. Yeah,
He lived in
And
Providence.
He was kind of weird. Yeah, he was kind
Yeah,
of a
and
weird guy.
he's got like a cult following.
Yeah, people really like him. Yeah, he died like almost 100 years ago now, but people really are like
Still.
taken to him. Yeah,
So there's the mullet.
that's the. I'm glad you pulled it up.
The mullet is sweet.
Oh yeah, I'm putting it right on camera.
Sweet mullet.
You didn't know this was
coming
this
back.
was this kind of show, did
It's
you?
coming back.
It's a
Oh,
neoclassical
right,
mullet right
That's
there.
right. There you go.
Where? So you went to
So-
school, right? You went to school in Providence.
Yeah.
And what did you
Johnson
go to school
Wales,
for?
yes.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnson.
He was
Wales, that's
obviously a cook.
You said
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
right. Tourism management. is-
Tourism management.
is the degree. Yeah, it worked out. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was gonna say. So is that why you picked this type of industry then?
Yeah, so I was when I originally came, I wanted to be a cruise ship director.
Oh.
That was my big vision. Yeah, when I was a kid, my grandparents took me on a cruise, and I was like, "This is so cool!" Like as a kid, And
Yeah.
I was like, "What if I get a job like this?" Yeah.
Soon we'll be making it.
Yeah, all the love boat, right?
You might be too young for that.
I am. Although it comes up every single time, and I just have known to like, yep, okay, someone's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
mention that.
I'm gonna edit
But
that out.
but yeah, so then I came to Providence. I really like Providence, and also cruise ship doesn't pay you very well, and you got to be out in the water for like months and months at a time.
Now
And
it's a lot of foreign, so on Block Island, we went there a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, and almost everybody who was temporary help on Block Island came from the cruise ship industry. They were like, the cruise ship industry does not pay, so now we're over here, we're doing seasonal stuff at Block Island.
Yeah.
They were from Virgin Islands,
Yeah, all over the place.
Serbia,
Yep.
all over the world, and they were there on Block Island, because the cruise ship industry wasn't paying enough.
yeah, it's not known for its high wages, but everything's incled. Like your food gets included
So
and
you
stuff.
dodged that bullet.
Yeah, so I didn't do that. Yeah, and I did get an opportunity to work as a they had what's called it a manager in training at a hotel chain.
Okay.
And they said, "Oh, don't like." A lot of my peers were really interested in this. We just graduated with a tourism degree. We want to get a job, and they were like, "All right, don't worry. We're going to give you overtime every single week, and we're working like 60 to 80 hour weeks every single week, and we'll give you 2 days off the first year and another 5 the second year. So you get a total of 7 days off in 2 years. How does that sound?" And I was like,
Jeez.
"Oh God."
7 days.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was the offer, and I was
That's
like,
crazy.
I don't think I want to do that.
don't
Yeah,
sound fun.
so
Yeah.
they work these, because it's a salary job, right? So they can work you like as hard as they want, not pay anymore. Yeah. So instead of that, I did some traveling, and I ended up joining AmeriCorps doing my volunteer stuff. Yeah.
So that was after school.
Yeah, right when I graduated, 2015. That was like I kind of made a fork in the road decision there.
And so, tell us about that experience, if you want to. You don't have to
Yeah.
go into it. AmeriCorps.
Oh,
because we're
AmeriCorps,
not really
yeah.
like we do. I was in the military. I think it's
Yeah.
completely opposite of the military.
AmeriCorps? Well, and actually, so I'm in the military too, right?
You were. I forgot.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, I'm in the Army
still
National
is.
Guard here in Rhode
Still?
Island. Yeah, I just this past weekend was drill weekend for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm in there, and it actually almost set me up for.
Well, thanks for your service.
Oh, thank you for your service. Thank you all for your
Yeah.
service.
Yes, sir.
Not me.
Doctor.
Nacho military man.
Not a military man. That's fine.
Nope, nacho.
But yeah, it was great. We were living on. They didn't pay us very much either, but at least we were meeting a whole bunch of people my age, and we were in teams of 10, either high school graduates or college graduates, somewhere in there, going to random projects around the West Coast. It was fun to travel places I hadn't been before. So we were based in Sacramento. We were in Gresham, Oregon, right side of Portland for a couple months. And that was really fun. We were building houses with Habitat. We were kind of finishing, so it was like a lot of sod work and installing washer dryers, like stuff like right before they were finished. And then the next project I was on was in Grand Teton. It was in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
that's gotta be
Oh,
cool.
nice.
Beautiful, yeah. And there's a big housing crunch out there too, because a lot of the hotel workers don't have any place to live. It's really hard to find
Yep.
spots. So we were at the other end of the spectrum. It was all studs, and we were putting up stuff, and we actually had to use a flamethrower to get the ice off of the concrete
Like a
every morning.
real flamethrower
Yeah,
or
a real
a torch?
flamethrower.
Yeah.
No, like 2 hands, like you were sweeping the
No
floor
kidding.
to get the ice off the ground so that we could keep working each day. Yeah, because
Man.
there was so much snow and we were working through the winter.
Yeah.
And then the last stint was at Golden Spike National Park, which is one of the smallest national parks in Utah,
Yeah.
where the Transcontinental Railroad completed.
No kidding.
It was built- It was cool. I like history,
that's
so it was
history
really
too,
neat.
That's pretty
yeah.
neat.
And we reenacted on the last day of my time there. We reenacted the final driving of the Golden Spike. It was
Yeah.
a ceremonial spike, and I actually was the reenactor who drove the Golden Spike. So,
Oh,
little
nice.
claim to fame.
How
there.
honored.
That's pretty sweet.
Big
Yeah.
honor. Yeah.
Look at
So
that.
we had a great time and learned a lot, traveled a lot. It was just a whole bunch of fun. And it's a shame now they've just cut that program completely on the all the Doge cuts and stuff. So.
Yeah.
I have a video in my library called The Golden Spike. It's got nothing to do with railroads. Though. Nothing. That's all I'll say
Okay.
about that. A lot of driving.
Yeah. You
A lot
were
of driving, but
very-
no railroads.
very disappointed when it was banned, right? Very disappointed, I could tell. Anyways, moving on. So, when I was recruiting with the Navy, I did some recruiting time. There was, you do these evals. I think you do evals too, right? And you guys do evals.
NCOERs and OERs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to make your eval look like top notch, you had to do so many hours
The
of
lie. Oh, no.
community service and like volunteering. And I spent a weekend volunteering for Habitat.
Oh, really?
In Providence, and we were building a house for a veteran who was disabled. That was really cool.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
That's awesome.
But anyways, that's my Habitat story.
Yeah, it's a great organization, and they focus on hand up versus hand out, which I
Yeah.
think makes it really appealing for people to want to support, want to donate. Because it's not just like they're giving houses away. Like the
Right.
people who are going to live in there have to actually work to build their own house too.
Yeah.
So that's a cool model.
Yeah, they were definitely that veteran was there, even though he was 100% disabled. He was there every day. He was working, doing stuff.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, when did you start putting together the idea of telling stories after AmeriCorps? Like, what got you into Providence? What got you telling stories? Like,
Yeah. So
does that make sense? What I'm asking?
Yeah. So I wrapped up. It really was my own interest in the history.
Okay.
In short, like I really like the history of Providence. I feel like it's generally undertold.
Specifically, Providence.
Yeah,
Okay.
like emphasizing Providence over Rhode Island, even like zoom in on the capital, because we were one of the 13 colonies. There's a lot of history that happened in Providence, but it's just Providence just isn't like a tourism boom town. It's
Right.
it's a place. We only relatively recently got the convention center, so it's been good for business travel. But it's not really a place where like, oh, where do I want to spend a weekend? Providence, and so there's not a lot of infrastructure for that. But it's turning around, Mayor Cianci, I give a lot of credit to Mayor Cianci for
Oh yeah! At the end of my tour, we got the marinara sauce.
That's
Mayor
right.
Cianci marinara sauce. It was funny because the couple we were with were from like I think Toronto, Canada, or something.
Oh, yeah?
And they gave him the Mayor Cianci marinara sauce, and they're like, "Oh, thanks." I'm like, you don't understand. You don't know. This is
Yeah, no doubt about it.
You know what I mean? This probably from 2016. You know what I mean? Like, but there was a new one though because he had him without the toupee.
Oh,
so,
okay. Yeah, they changed the design.
Providence loved that guy.
Yeah.
he was
Oh,
definitely
he
very
turned that
well.
city right around.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It's certainly he certainly has the legend of doing that. Even
Yeah.
if it wasn't just him,
Oh,
he
yeah.
took
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the credit and he
No
just
doubt
kind
about
of
it.
like gave it so much confidence that it didn't have for a long time.
He had to take all the credit for the corruption stuff too. Didn't he?
Sure,
Even
yeah.
though that might not have been just him.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
mean, you know what?
Also,
The city ran like a top, though.
the city it ran.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, actually, my new neighbors run a Parkside restaurant
Okay.
in Providence, and they know the story where Buddy, at the height of his power, tried to go in there to get a table, but the bouncer didn't recognize him and said, "Sorry, we're full," and turned him away. And he just called the fire department and had him shut down.
No way.
Had the liquor license revoked, and that was it. Yeah.
No way.
Yep, that was bad mistake they made.
I can see that.
Yeah. So,
bad mistake.
Yeah. So he was a confident guy, but he
Definitely a people guy though. He was out in public all the time.
all the
Like,
time. Yeah.
Capitol Grill. He had his seat right there. That round table in the corner.
Yeah.
As soon as you walked in, and then I remember running him at like Tammany Hall, the cigar bar.
Yeah.
You ran into him?
Yeah. What's that?
You ran into him?
Yeah. I
Really?
ran him a couple places. Like Capitol Grill, you'd see him there all the time. He was like
the
there all the time.
reputation about Buddy Cianci was anytime he saw 3 cars together at a house, he would stop in and he would go in the backyard and he would introduce himself and be part of the party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way.
That's how,
Just
that's how
walk
you get to
in,
know
yeah.
people. Yeah, just walk
Just
in.
let
Yeah.
himself
Let's
in.
do that.
But
We should do that.
so I was in Afghanistan with a guy. He was a Providence cop, National Guard guy, and he was a Providence cop, and he was Buddy Cianci's driver for a couple of
way.
years. Yeah. We should have him on the show. He'll tell you a bunch of stories.
Yeah.
You've been with everybody in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
You guy was with Pat Tillman.
No, I wasn't in Afghanistan with him.
No, but
just-
you know him. Like you.
I know him. He was in Afghanistan with Pat Tillman.
Yeah.
I wasn't in Afghanistan with him.
Gotcha.
Yeah. This guy, he was Buddy
Retract.
Cianci's driver. He's got a lot of crazy stories.
Yeah. I know. And in fact, one of my tour guides formerly dated one of Buddy Cianci's drivers, and Buddy Cianci would call him in the middle of the night to come pick him up at
Wherever he was.
random
Wonder if it was
hours.
him.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was your buddy.
I need a ride.
Maybe.
I need a ride.
Yeah, I need a ride. Yeah, exactly. But
Get me out of here.
yeah, so and it's crazy and like doing this in Providence too, because the networks are so small.
Yep.
It's challenging. On Crime and Cuisine, for example,
Yeah.
we have to tell stories that are already really well covered in the newspaper.
Yeah.
Because we're not trying to expose anybody. I was in one of the restaurants talking to one of our restaurant partners, and the guy doing the carpet stood up, and he was like, "Oh, my uncle was actually shot and killed on Atwells Avenue because of the mob activity."
kidding.
Yeah.
And he was like excited about it. I was like, "Oh,
And you were like,
I'm sorry," like
telling any
yeah, I'm not trying to bring your, like try to desecrate the memory of your uncle by telling the stories on a tour like this, So I try to keep it really narrow to stories that people have.
That's what Joe said.
can see.
Joe said he used to hang out there in on Federal Hill, and he would see people in there because he say his dad would go to the bars there all the time.
I don't remember Caleb.
Joe, your buddy Joe.
Yeah, I know Joe. I don't remember what he
He was
said.
talking about Atwells. He was talking about how he was in there as a kid, and he would hear kids talk or people talking.
yeah, he
I
grew
was
up
in
on-
jail for 15 months. Really? Oh, you're a beginner. I was in for like 22 years.
Oh, yeah.
What were you in for? I killed a guy.
Oh, great.
So-
Yeah, where do you go from there in the conversation? Yeah.
What'd you use?
Yeah.
It was Colonel Mustard in the tavern. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Yeah, but like, anyway.
I'm a little curious about this Prohibition history tour, though. Like,
Yeah.
what's that? What does that entail?
Yeah, so I love the Prohibition history. I think it's so fascinating. Unfortunately, I can't get it to take off like Crime and Cuisine because I
Really?
feel like people really like
Like
people
the
already
food
know.
option, probably.
Is it?
Yeah.
So my girlfriend
Mm-hmm.
is a cocktail snob.
Uh-huh.
If you would, so you ever been to the Jefferson
I
Jefferson
haven't.
Boulevard?
I'd like to go down there. I haven't been there yet.
It is
yeah.
like the guys in the vest with the bow ties and the
Oh,
white
fair.
shirts.
Yep.
It's like a
And
Prohibition
they,
style.
Oh my god! And they do the dehydrated everything, and they do the oak smoke, and they the entire an entire process. It's like the guy, the Salt Bay guy,
Yeah.
right in front of you. You know what I mean? But it's a
Yeah.
cocktail.
Uh-huh.
If you could like market it as like a drink snob person
Yeah.
thing, then that might take off. So we went to a bunch of speakeasies.
Yeah.
I don't know if they really were speakeasies, but we went to a bunch of them, and that's like a hobby we do. We bounce around in Providence, and every time we go, she looks at the designer cocktail menu and grabs a designer cocktail.
Yeah.
I mean, Brad could probably tell you if it's
So
an
how
actual
much?
speakeasy.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, how much do you know about the?
I was gonna say the names, but I don't remember them. That's the problem.
Well, that's good. A good speakeasies then.
Yeah.
right?
He just drink was good.
Yeah.
One of them was behind a lingerie shop. You know that?
Yeah, Justine's.
Justine's.
Yeah.
That was,
Justine's, yeah.
That
So
was
that's
a good
great
place.
little spot.
And there's another place right on the side of it that was
Next
pretty
to
good.
it. Yeah, there's a new bar that opened. You can literally walk through.
Yeah,
together. I'm
because
forgetting
we
the other names.
mistakenly went there and drank for like an hour before we realized
Like,
we were in the
oh
wrong
wait,
place.
yeah, that's right next door.
You remember the lingerie shop, though?
Oh yeah. There's lots of clamps and chains and stuff. And
Yeah.
What am I walking through right now?
That's one of the few like
50 Shades of
real speakeasies that we have where you have to actually walk through a room.
Yeah,
and
but
what
was
is
that
this?
was
And
that a real one? Was
behind the
Justine's a
curtain.
real speakeasy back in the day, or?
Probably not.
No.
Like, the real, as far as I know, I mean, I mostly know downtown more than Olneyville, but the real speakeasies were in these sort of rundown buildings that didn't survive 100 years. You know, they got knocked down. A lot of them are now parking garages and stuff. You know, those 3 big buildings that the residents. I'm forgetting. When you drive through Providence on the right, there's 3 big buildings that are kind of newish. There were big apartment buildings there, and they knocked down a whole bunch of older buildings that had a lot of speakeasies in them too.
Yeah.
So you know a lot about the Prohibition era in Providence?
Yeah, specifically, yeah, because that era, it was kind of there was a lot of different stuff happening in America in the 20s, right? You had like a big immigration boom, like the Italians, right? Big numbers. The Italians were coming through, and the Irish were there, and a lot of Russian Jews, and all of these cultures were strong drinking cultures. A lot of them, they all love drinking, and like Catholic too. So a lot of Irish and Italian Catholics, and then the country said, "All right, none of that." And then Providence was like, "What the heck?" You know,
So I read something that Rhode Island never ratified Prohibition.
Correct. Yeah, the state government never ratified it, and
Really?
they got forced into it.
So what does that mean?
Yeah.
Oh, they were forced into it.
Yeah, but the state police didn't have to enforce
No
it technically.
kidding.
Yeah, so it was a cool thing where it was kind of like to compare it today, like almost like ICE a little bit, you know, because you have the federal enforcement of it, but the states and cities don't always
I see what you're
cooperate,
saying.
you know,
Yeah.
so you kind of see the different levels of government. Same thing like marijuana before it was,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Legal,
like
yep.
state
States are
legal.
doing their own thing.
Right, yeah, so it's kind of like state versus federal government
Yeah.
sometimes, yeah.
Always flexing the muscles, huh?
Yeah, and they're like battling it out. Yeah. So it was kind of an awkward, sort of weird time. Yeah.
That's crazy. They never ratified Prohibition.
Yeah.
And you know what? Rhode Island was
funny.
also the last state to ratify the USS Constitution.
Oh,
Yeah.
The U.S.
kidding.
Constitution.
Yeah, exactly.
USS Constitution.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They
I'm a
wanted-
Navy guy.
Yeah,
because
sure.
they wanted to make sure that the Bill of Rights was in it.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
Yep.
exactly right. And also, they were worried about the taxes. They didn't want to pay American taxes, just like they didn't want to pay English taxes.
English taxes,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, that's off topic though. That's another story for another day.
But I can see because Providence is a port town.
Oh, say, can
even
you
though you have
see?
to come right up the river a lot, it's a port town, and like Chicago, the mafia in Chicago flourished because it was so close to Canada.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can sail a boat down from Canada right up into Providence.
Yeah.
You know, and India Point, that whole area. So
Yeah, there was the Bahamas and Saint Pierre, I believe the name of the island was, off the coast of Canada, were 2 really important international. So like the rest of the world was like, America, what the heck are you doing with this prohibition thing?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so there were laws that allowed you to sail. If you weren't an American ship, you could still carry alcohol, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so all the Americans just sailed their ships to these other countries, flipped the flags. Okay, now we're flying for this country. Got around it, right? And so then they could come within a few miles of the coast, and they would put all these ships, and they would tie them all up. You'd have these huge, they call them rum rows, almost like islands of all these ships filled with booze, and then you'd have the small boats come and pick them up and sneak past the Coast Guard.
Is that because they were international waters?
Yes,
still? Is that the-
exactly. International and the reason international water used to be a lot closer to
2
the coast.
miles. Yeah, now it's 12.
And then the United States was like, we got to push this out, and they did because of that reason. Yeah.
No
so, yeah, and that's
So what's the loophole economy? Is that part of the loophole economy?
yeah, pretty much, right?
Do you know about that?
I'm not familiar with this particular term, but
So I was just reading stuff like it's unscripted. I'm just reading.
yeah,
Yeah,
read-
right,
yeah, read
right
away,
now,
yeah.
right now off the laptop.
Yeah,
Pharmacies, church wine, clever workarounds. Like that's why I'm saying that sounded like a clever workaround.
that's exactly So we actually have a whole stop on the tour that talks about liquor loopholes and how people got their liquor in spite of it, right? Because the Prohibition Amendment gave some exceptions. It said sacramental wine was okay.
Yeah.
And so that's really easy to regulate in Catholic religion because it's very top down, right? And so you just say, okay, you're a priest, you get this much. But in the Jewish religion, it's a lot more like bottom up in a sense. And so you'd have everyone claiming, well, I'm a rabbi.
Yeah.
So gimme, you know? Yeah. And then rabbis would be selling it. There would be a really bad reputation for rabbis, specifically in New York. They were just selling. Everyone's a rabbi and everyone's selling booze because they're rabbis and they can do that. Yeah.
Makes sense.
And then Walgreens exploded. Walgreens was just a small pharmacy. And then they started. Their website says that they really took off because of the milkshake, but really it was because
We're
they
not
were
going to
writing
get sued, are we?
prescription booze.
Prescription
Booze, yeah, because booze became a medicine. It started before
Still is.
Prohibition. It was booze was one thing, and then after, the doctors of the country were like, "Yeah, booze can treat all these problems: cancer, old age. Booze can treat all this
Depression.
stuff, depression." Yeah,
Not having a good time.
World War One.
not having a good time.
That's why we sip scotch in the basement over there.
That's right.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, really fun history. And the booze cruise, right? The booze cruise was just going out beyond international waters where it was legal, drink, and then come back.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so a lot of like things that influence our culture today that started because people were avoiding this law. It's interesting.
That's funny.
So what's the wildest loophole story you've heard or come across?
Let's see. It's
I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
yeah, no, I'm
like,
just trying to think. So the well, you could make your own, and people started doing those stills in the woods.
really?
You know, yeah, that's
That's where the
kinda-
bootleggers
Yeah,
come from.
that's right. And there was you couldn't sell it. You were allowed to make your own in small batches, but then people started to get a little generous with that. And they
Greedy,
started making booze out of all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So that's another way around it.
That'll tie into like the mob stories, right? Al Capone. That's kind of what he made his money on.
We call the Prohibition tour the prequel to the Crime and Cuisine tour
Yeah.
because that kind of set the stage for organized crime to take off. Yeah.
That's pretty cool, actually.
I'll have to do that one too.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's cool. We are considering, so like right now the Prohibition tour, because it's a reflection of myself. I'm so excited about this history that it becomes kind of more of an educational thing. But when people book it, I mean, we do drink too. We go, just like Crime and Cuisine, we stop at restaurants and we do drink tastings and stuff like that. But it's in the middle of the day. It's not really the vibe that people are like. People want speakeasy, you know, they want nighttime things. So we're looking to transition that maybe next year. We'll start doing speakeasy focus specifically stuff. We just bought a van. Yeah, we just bought a Ford Transit, so we'll be able to drive people around.
That way you
So
won't
we can
be
live
in the
down by
rain.
the river.
In a van down by the
Living in
river.
a van down by the river.
And you don't have to walk in the rain.
No, it's not just a van, but you don't need the van in Atwells Ave.
That's right.
That's true.
I think it was like a 2 mile complete, or maybe even less.
0.7.
What, is
Yeah.
it 0.7?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just one, just up and down.
Yeah.
So I assume that with all of the state and federal kerfluffles, there was a lot of crime, like a lot of gun battles, a lot of fights.
Yeah. So we did have. So there's the Black Duck.
Yeah.
Was a ship. There's actually a comedy venue called the Black Duck right now in East Providence. Yeah, and I don't know if they know about the connection, but the Black Duck was a ship that was running rum from one of those rum rows up into Providence, and the Coast Guard got big in their britches. Basically, they thought they were like super cool.
bee's knees,
Yeah,
right?
they thought they were like FBI equivalent, and they got really violent towards these rum runners. And most rum runners were just like usually immigrants, usually people who didn't have easy means of making money and could make big bucks doing this.
Yep.
And so the ship was coming in late at night, and what they were supposed to do, the Coast Guard, when they catch a ship, is fire a warning shot, which basically makes them pull over-ish, and they come and take all the booze. Well, they didn't fire a warning shot, and they just lit them up. So, a couple people died. The captain survived after getting a bullet wound and spoke in court, and it was one of the reasons why national prohibition ended, actually, because of this Black Duck incident where a bunch of people died in Narragansett Bay getting shot.
kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
I
it
never
became-
heard that story.
Yeah, it
that's
became it was like national news. It was,
Gunfights on the Narragansett. Right?
yeah, exactly.
that's
So it
pretty-
was Congress fighting over like, you know, this has got to end. Like prohibition is just causing more problems, and it was all because of this.
And it always does.
Fight, yeah.
Every time they try to prohibit something in the U.S., they've tried it a number of different things, and it just never works.
Yeah.
Did I use the wrong word?
Oh, no.
Anonymity. Sorry.
He's not privy to the fact that I can't say that word.
So let's move. So Brad kind of took us out of order a little bit. We were going to talk about crime and cuisine first.
Oh, my bad.
That's
all we
fine.
did.
Okay.
No, I'm just busting your chops. No, but I mean, you said it's kind of the prequel, right? Like the prequel to
Yeah.
the
To Crime and
the
Cuisine.
the mob lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I don't want to give away all of your stories. Like I want people to be able to come see your tours, right?
Yeah.
Like and still get something out of it, of course. But what can you tell us about some of the crime?
Crime and Cuisine.
I mean, that was kind of the
that's
kind of the
that's
cool-
our most popular tour right now. People do love Crime and Cuisine, and I'm never worried about sharing too much information from my tours because
People love crime in
People love
general.
crime, and I also think that you tell one story and people want to hear another one. You know, so
Yeah.
I don't feel like they're not going to be like, oh well, you know, I heard it, so
Yeah,
now
I heard it,
yeah,
not gonna go.
yeah,
Yeah.
right, yeah. So. Yeah, Crime and Cuisine really focuses around the face-off between Buddy Cianci and Raymond Patriarca because they were in court against each other at one point, and we kind of
Yeah, they said that's what made Buddy Cianci was.
yeah,
that
that was his big break. Yeah, it kind of put him on everyone's radar, and we kind of from that point we kind of back up. We talk about Raymond Patriarca, what his life was like. We even importantly set the scene of what Federal Hill was like when Raymond was growing up. So there's this thing called the Macaroni Riots. Have you heard of this?
I have.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah,
happens
you
in my
have.
kitchen.
Yeah. So the
I have
macaroni
not.
riots. The macaroni riots are really important. We have been.
That happens in my kitchen with my kids.
Yeah. Wow. So we've been. Let me tell you about this first. So the macaroni riots was basically during World War I food rations. The Italian.
I've heard the story. I'm gonna be right back.
Okay.
Oh, okay,
All right,
all
taking a break. The Italian immigrants got really upset because they were cranking up the price of pasta, and they thought it was unfair. They thought that they were taking advantage of the situation with the rations. And they did an investigation. The state went into the grocers and was like, are you taking advantage of people? They were like, no, we're not taking advantage of people. And they were like, all right. And they said, okay, you know, that's it. And so there was a big riot, essentially, where they were smashing the windows of the grocer and
No way.
taking the pasta, throw it in the street, taking the olive oil, smash it in the street. It was this big sort of display.
So that was in Providence.
That was in Providence on Federal Hill. Yeah.
That kind of sounds like the more modern Tea
crazy.
Party.
So is that,
Yeah,
right?
kind of.
yeah, right,
That's an
right.
interesting parallel, actually. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Would you say that was in the 50s?
That was that was in the 1914. That was World War
14.
One.
Oh,
yeah,
World War One.
Yeah,
Okay,
World
yeah,
War
yeah,
One. Yeah, and it was because of this, and it was the riot continued because typically the police force was not Italian. A lot of them were Irish.
Yeah.
And
And we know how they get along.
yeah, and they didn't get along exactly, and so the environment was that Italian people had no recourse. You know, they had no political power. They had no they can't do anything. They were just totally
Taxation without representation.
precisely, and pasta prices going up without
Yes.
representation. You know, yeah.
Yeah,
So
right.
and that was really important to them. So that was kind of the environment that gave what I like to think as a kid, Patriarcha was like, wow, this is how my people are getting treated. And
Yep.
like when they try to do the right thing, they try to protest, they try to bring attention to this thing, and they get beat up by the cops. And so I'm not going to live that life. You know, I'm going to make my own money and do it outside the system.
Well, I mean, that was kind of the American way. Still kind of should be, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to listen to what they tell me. I'm going to do my own thing.
Yeah, well, you know, we
cowboy
hope that they could do
lifestyle.
it legally for the most part.
right,
Yeah. But we got hemmed up because Gene Valicenti heard about our tour and invited me on his radio show. And I went on the show, and I didn't realize that it was kind of like it was more of an ambush than a
No way.
than a thing. Yeah, because he thought what we were doing was offensive to Italian American people.
No
yeah.
way.
Yeah, and so he had me on. He was like, "So this is Bradley. Bradley, before you say anything, I don't like what you're doing. I think it's offensive to Italian
No
people.
way.
I think you should stop what you're doing." But anyway, go ahead. Tell us your side. That was the first thing. I walked right into this. You know, I had no
so
idea.
So you
I
had
was
no idea what you were
It was
walking
6
into
a.m.
tonight.
I was sitting. Yeah. I was sitting in my office in my underpants in my house, and I was like I'm in front of his whole audience, and I'm just getting like lambasted, you know. And I like to think that I was able to say, no, I don't think that's what we're doing. You know, we're trying to bring people to Federal Hill and see that it's a nice place. And,
First thing I would say was, Are you saying this didn't happen?
Yeah, that's
You're saying are you saying there's no mafia in Providence? It didn't happen?
Exactly. Yeah.
Monday
No doubt
morning
about it.
quarterback.
Yeah, right.
Hindsight's 2020.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a big argument, but we also just like to say people like eating on Federal Hill, and that's why they're coming to learn the history and have a good bite to eat. Yeah. So.
Yeah, what you should have said was, I mean, I don't think I mentioned the nationality once. I just told everybody what happened on Federal Hill, and they assumed the nationality.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
So we try to. It's anyway. We're sensitive to that. Like I don't want to be the guy who's offending a bunch of Italian people, right? So like we do. One of the reasons we put the macaroni rights in there is kind of paint that picture a little bit. And so like, these people had not a lot of opportunity, and so if it's fewer than 0.1% of Italian Americans participate in mafia activity, but we can understand why that 0.1% probably did. You know.
Yeah.
So, but we try to put. We know we don't want to upset anybody. We try to put it in context. Yeah. Yeah.
We like to upset people here.
Yeah.
That makes sense because, like I said, I took the tour, and there was a lot of backstory and explaining and like and statistics like you said, you know what I mean? Yeah,
right,
CYA, a lot of CYA.
So we're trying to.
And it was when I say a
story,
lot, I mean like a at the end before we moved to the next spot, just to be clear, and there were like 2 or 3 sentences. Every stop.
Right.
We're not saying this and we're not saying that, but this is what happened.
Yeah.
Like all right.
Yeah.
Providence isn't a scary place.
Well, we want to give people what they want to hear, but we also want to be respectful, you know? So it's like, it's a balance. Yeah, we're trying. Yeah, we're trying.
Because I just went, I gotta say, like 2 months ago. It wasn't a long time ago.
Sure.
So, maybe not even. Maybe like a month and a half.
Well, I'm glad you noticed that we were doing that.
Yeah, they were.
You just did that. You just did this tour.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it was saying.
Did you review
I figured
it?
this is one of
Did
your
you give it a
flings when you
review?
had a mullet.
I could tell you. I got pictures. I could tell you. When I did it. But it was cool. I got to tell you, the thing that impressed me, well, not the most, but like it was the diversity of the places that we got to eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't like, all right, here's spaghetti meatballs, and here's spaghetti meatballs, and here's some more spaghetti meatballs.
Yeah,
So it was like a really diverse cuisine, and places that I would not have eaten, had I not gone on that tour. Obviously, I mean, I went to Camille's. We had a little pregame before we went on a tour,
Nice.
and then went across the street, started taking a tour, and I was like worried that it was going to be all the same food, but it wasn't. It was really, really good, really well done, really knowledgeable tour guide. Like I said, it was a monsoon. I felt bad. I don't remember. Maybe was it the Festival of St. John, maybe, or something, but it was a monsoon, and they got completely washed out. They canceled everything.
Oh, no way.
Oh yeah, they were tents lining the street. By the time we were halfway through the tour, nobody was on Atwell's Ave, but his tour guide was trudging through, man. I was
You
like,
gotta give her a raise.
Yeah.
Give her a
We would-
raise.
Oh yeah,
her a raise,
we would walk. We'd walk into a restaurant, and they're like, "You're still doing the tour?" Like, yeah.
We're out here.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, good on Isabella. I'm gonna let her know.
We had at Forest Restaurant. Stay out of the rain.
You didn't know you were getting a review on Isabella and
Yeah, no, I'm happy to share with her. I'm gonna let her know
No,
as
it
soon
was
as I get
great.
off.
We
Yeah.
were at the one place at the end, right before you go to the historical people there that give you the Buddy Cianci marinara sauce. There's the pizza place, you get
Napolitano.
pizza, Napolitano, and it was whipping and wind. People would open the door would slam open, and like rain would come in, and she's like, I gotta go check and make sure that they're still there for the sauce. We're like, we don't. We're like, and they're like, and you get a gift at the end. We're like, we don't need the gift that bad. Don't put your life in danger. She's like, no, I've got to do it.
I'm gonna do it.
What do you do to these people?
And meanwhile, dude, the like the Napolitano is like the roof is leaking like 4 different places.
Oh my god!
It's like,
Wow,
Man, you got these people scared of you.
this is the first time I'm hearing this.
yeah. Well, we did. We went out.
that's great.
We went out. and We sat. They had a tent on the side near, I guess, right out in front of their storefront where they had.
Yeah.
Where they had a tent, and the kids, the 2 kids, they seemed like kids to me. I'm an older guy. They were like probably 25 or 30, but they seemed like 18 when I looked at them. And they gave their briefing, and they did a great job. Like they knew what they were doing, and literally it was in a tent, and when the wind is slapping those tent sides. It's like pow, 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 pow. It would just, and they didn't skip a beat.
That just kept on going.
Yeah, it was great. It was
awesome.
a great tour. It was a great tour.
That's funny.
I mean, the worst conditions, and it was a great tour. So I can imagine the best conditions. It would be an unbelievable tour.
Nice.
So we're gonna take a little break here.
Okay.
Get you stocked back up with another beverage.
Appreciate that.
And when we come back out, what do you know about
What's
dice,
next? What's
the
next on the
dice
topic list?
raid, the mafia?
Oh,
headquarters,
getting some
all
of the
that stuff?
stories and stuff. Yeah,
Can you do some of that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we can talk about
We'll be
that.
back. We'll be back.
This episode is brought to you by the Cumberland Coalition for Small Business, committed to empowering local entrepreneurs with the tools and support they need to succeed. Whether you're launching a new venture or expanding an existing business, the Coalition offers access to resources, advocacy, and meaningful connections that drive real growth. Because strong small business builds stronger communities. Visit CumberlandCoalitionForSmallBusiness.com to learn more.
We're back.
And we're back.
Nice.
Game
Well, I
on.
got to start the clock, right? That's the official. We're back.
What are we going to do, 60 minutes, or
No, we just keep going until the story's done.
just go until it's
Yeah.
over?
Some when we go too long.
We do. Because he gets drunk and talks a lot.
I don't get drunk. I don't drink on this show.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. It's all water.
That's just fuzzy water.
Anyways, so before we left, we were going to come back and talk about some of these stories that you do in the crime and cuisine. Because honestly, so here's the genesis of this episode, right? We're all sitting around in a production meeting, and we're trying to come up with stories and things that people like. True crime is huge.
It is.
in America for some reason.
Yeah.
And we were trying to find a previous mobster or somebody to come on the show, but we don't know any. So
Sure.
we said,
Maybe for the best.
yeah. So we said, hey, look, you know what? There's the Providence tour thing. I think it was Gary. I think was the one that found you, and Gary.
What was that? Because I took the tour on June 7th.
This was this is back farther than that.
Oh,
This is back farther. You didn't know about this when you took the tour? You didn't know we were doing this?
no.
Oh. So it was organic.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Good SEO.
so the whole reason that we wanted you to come on was to talk about the mob stories.
Yeah.
Because people love mob stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you weren't in the mob, but
I was not.
you'll do.
I'll do. Yeah. Yeah. So we come at it. So I bought the tour from a guy named Rod. He was doing he was calling it just like the Federal Hill Mob Tour, basically like straight up mob tour. And we would walk down the street and he'd be like, "Oh, that guy, he died here. This is where he bled out. That guy got shot up in this building over here." And for me, I was just like, "Oh my, like this is a little harsh, you know, it's just a lot of guts and stuff." Yeah. So we kind of I purchased it from him, but I did my own research for it, and we kind of backpedaled away from the hyper gory stuff,
the gory
and
stuff,
we just let people enjoy the aesthetic because that's what really people want.
That's no fun.
Yeah.
We wanted the gore stuff.
Well, well, some people do, and I tell
I'm
people
just
go look it up. You know,
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, there's a bunch of good stories. So like I was saying earlier, so we focus on that Buddy Patriarcha kind of showdown. We talk about Patriarcha's upbringing. He was born in Worcester. He came to Providence when he was 7 or 8, and he actually worked at the Biltmore Hotel as a shoe shine boy. When he was a kid. And
Get your shine box, Tommy.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
I assume that's a movie quote.
yeah.
Goodfellas. I mean, you never saw Goodfellas?
I did see that actually. Yeah.
It's been a long
I just
time.
don't remember. This guy pulls out movie quotes like
From forever.
everything. Like he knows every movie out there. He's got them memorized.
Nice.
That's not true. Most of them are wrong.
But no one can
I
call you
wouldn't
on
have.
it.
I wouldn't know that.
Stop interrupting Bradley.
I wouldn't know that.
That's why. That's why you don't call me out on it.
Anyway,
A friend
Go
of
ahead.
mine calls me confidently incorrect.
That's the best way to be.
that makes
Yeah, she
sense.
says
Yeah.
I'm so confidently incorrect that nobody challenges me.
that makes sense.
Nice.
I see that.
I see that.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to derail this
perfectly
thing.
fine. Yeah, so he became Providence's enemy number one. The Providence police had a list, and he was Providence enemy number one before the end of Prohibition. He was a younger guy, but he made his start by, as part of Prohibition, doing bootlegging and then stealing the liquor that he was hired to bootleg and selling it for himself. So that's kind of how he first made a name for himself in the crime world. And by the end of his life, he was an older guy. He kind of ran New England, La Cosa Nostra, right, which is the crime family.
Yeah. So he was part of the La Costa Nostra then?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
He was the head of it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he moved the headquarters of operation from Boston to Providence, where he felt he could have better control. And there wasn't quite as much stuff as there was going on in Boston, a much bigger city, right? So he would sit out in his older age. This was like a multi-billion-dollar operation that he was at the head of, but he would sit out in front of the Coin-O-Matic on Atwells Avenue. He'd have his suit on. Usually he was looking really nice. He'd have light, long white socks that people would notice. He'd be sitting in a lawn chair outside of his outside of Coin-O-Matic. People would wave. Everyone knew who he was. He was
when you're a gangster, you get away with anything.
Yeah, the police even would be like, "Oh, hey, it's Raymond." I mean, they can't touch him. They can't do anything.
Right.
So he started La Costa Nostra.
No, I think he took over.
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah. So he moved his way up, and
was he during the Al Capone time? Do you know? Because you said Prohibition.
So he was later.
Okay.
So I know that when he was born 1907, I believe it was, and so he was 7 years old during the Macaroni Riot, 1914, which he's an older man in like his heyday is 50s, 60s, 70s, where he was in charge for a really long time through that era, and he was just this benevolent, like people. I think people look back and they get rose-colored glasses about the period, but like you talk to people at Federal Hill and they swear by the fact that they would rather live during the era where Raymond was in charge because they felt like it was safer.
Safe.
Which is an interesting sort of thing, right? Because
Protection.
like Raymond he's a violent person, right? Like he uses violence to achieve his ends, but people perceive him as being fair as opposed to legal systems, right? Like the police and stuff like that.
Police are violent too, right?
Police are also violent. Yeah, that's also true. And for some reason, he had their trust more than the police did, right? Yeah. So they would say that you wouldn't get your car stolen if it was parked on Federal Hill because the thief would be concerned that it was someone important, right? Yeah. So there's no data to support that it was actually safer, but pretty much universally, people will say it was safer.
That is steal the wrong car back then.
Yeah, you'd be messed
you ain't
up.
coming back.
Yeah,
Right.
That is universally known, though. A lot of people say that about La Costa Nostra, the mob, the mafia, that they ran their cities and streets better than the actual police did. Because, and a lot of their violence was not really towards the citizens.
Right.
It was towards one another and the heads of like
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so they do we have this, and I wonder if it's because of contemporary America's like interest in true crime, but we have this really rosy sort of picture of it that people really like. People really like to lean into that aesthetic. It was very violent, like people were getting shot and stuff. So it's really not. There's always the question, like, oh, if you could live in any time period, where would you like? The answer is today. It's always today.
Right.
But people like to think, oh, wow, cool that was, So we give it to them. We give them to the tours.
So, do you think that there is a danger in the nostalgia of this stuff rather than the accountability,
the truth of it? Well,
Does that make sense what I'm asking?
That's a really good question, actually. Yeah. So the experiences that we are selling are letting people revel in the aesthetic that they want to revel in, right? When we portray that, we try to portray it as honestly and straightforwardly as possible. We give you context as to what happened, We're trying not to lie about it. We're not putting on a show, but we're letting you know, here's what happened, here's the information that you kind of want to hear about.
It is a show.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, it is sensitive. It's a presentation, right? Yeah, but we're not trying to make it uber theatrical or anything like that. We're just like, yeah, here's what happened, and it was on this street, and it was in that building, and it was over there.
So where was the headquarters for Patriot?
Yeah, that was the Coinomatic.
The Coinomatic was his headquarters.
It was his headquarters. Yeah, the Coinomatic.
Is that still there?
It's now an Indian fusion restaurant. The building's still there, of course, but we stop across the street and we talk about it. And actually behind it is now an old folks' home, but that place was a school for girls in Raymond's era, and it's also a place that the FBI took a room out on the top floor because they could listen into the comings and goings. And apparently that was totally illegal. Like, they weren't supposed to be listening in on American citizens, but they were breaking laws to try to catch Raymond.
Early version of the
Who was that,
Patriot Act.
Giuliani?
Yeah, exactly.
Was that with Rudy Giuliani? He was a big one that went after the mob, at least in New York.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
No, Kennedy went after Patriarcha.
Oh, Kennedy did?
Yeah, so Kennedy,
Robert, I think.
Robert Kennedy questioned Patriarcha on the stand in Congress as the Attorney General, and he asked Patriarcha why he pursued a life of crime, and Patriarcha's answer was like perfect. It was like, well, why do a lot of young men do a lot of things when they haven't a father? Because his father died when he was relatively young, and so he was able to endear himself pretty effectively to his listeners. You know, he knew who he was talking to because it wasn't him; it was the American people who he was on trial for, right? So yeah, he was a cool guy. The what really kind of crashed down the era of the mafia was 1970, the RICO Act.
Yeah.
So RICO was
that was Giuliani. Giuliani's the one that really enforced that hard.
Gotcha. Okay. In New York, I'm not as familiar with New York's history, but it was under the Nixon administration, and it basically just gave attorneys general the tools to go after the mobsters, right? Because before that, the legal infrastructure just didn't exist for people to get convicted of a crime. Like, if I told Brad, go commit a crime, and you committed the crime, it was you who was going away for it,
right?
You know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, like
exactly.
I wasn't. Yeah, I was
going away.
Yeah, right. So we just didn't have like the laws to get the me of that situation until RICO, and it made it a pattern, any pattern of criminal behavior, which included a whole bunch of much lower level crimes. But if you were involved with it several times, they could pin you as being a part of organized crime and gave you that leverage. And they also, that law made it so that if you got hit with that, you had to give over all the money you made illegally, which made it really hard for lower level guys to stay loyal, because if they got hit with it and they had to turn over all their money, their whole life was about to get upended. A lot of them would flip and would become informants. And so really it was that law that kind of undid the whole era. Yeah.
Interesting.
Do you know Michael Francisi?
No, I don't.
So he's got a YouTube channel as well. He's actually a prior La Costa Nostra boss, and he was one of the biggest earners in the mafia next to Al Capone. Like, he got his money in the oil industry. He found a way to scam the government out of taxes and stuff on oil.
Gotcha.
But he made a ton of money doing it, and he ended up. Giuliani actually busted him and put him in prison. But he took a plea deal, so he didn't have to give up any of his money.
That's usually what happens.
And that was the point I was saying. A lot of them ended up taking plea deals.
Plea deals, give it
So
information,
that-
don't destroy my whole life here. Yeah.
But he's got a YouTube channel now, and he kind of talks about that. And he doesn't like to glorify the life, because he considers himself kind of a born again Christian, and he reform all that in prison, and now he considered himself on the straight and narrow, right?
Gotcha.
But it's fascinating to hear him talk about his life, and what he went through. They actually did an interview with him and Rudy Giuliani together.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Yeah. So
that was kind of funny.
Yeah, cool opportunities for content today, right?
Oh,
You can look back and kind of put it behind you and have an honest conversation about it.
Yep.
That's kind of cool.
But anyway, so the banking crisis fallout. Do you know anything about that?
That was all the credit unions. I remember
Yeah,
that
I
in
mean,
the
you
80s.
guys probably, that's the thing is that the banking crisis is
We
so
lived through
recent
that.
many people have lived through it and they tell
like-
me about it.
It was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
18% interest rates, and it was
Yeah,
crazy. A
it
lot of
wa-
people lost their money.
Yeah, a guy named Joe Malacone Jr. And usually on the tour we only talk about people who are deceased, but we make a small exception for Joe Malacone.
So you
because
talk about that.
we do talk
yeah.
about it, because he is
They
already
show
very
pictures,
famous.
They flip through a book and there's pictures and there's
Yeah,
like you're talking about the Coinomatic, the top windows, and she holds up a picture. She's
yeah,
like,
you can
"That's
kind of
where
hold
the-"
it up and see
Yeah,
where
you
the
can see where it was.
yeah.
It's really
That's
cool.
fun.
It's
That's a
really
fun
cool.
thing. Yeah.
I gotta take this tour now.
Yeah.
gotta
You
take a
convinced
tour.
me.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's a fun time.
Yeah.
Because I do
Great.
like history.
Yeah,
So you said there's a new tour that you're doing.
a couple actually. Yeah, so
But the one though, and I want to plug as many as you want to plug.
But wait, weren't you talking about the banking crisis? Were you
Oh
done,
yeah.
Were you done with that?
No, I just let's talk about
whatever you want,
For
whatever
sure.
you guys
Sorry.
want to do. It's
I
fine
got
with me.
derailed.
Yeah,
I interrupted and you didn't finish,
Yeah.
and you like rebooted and went to something else.
it's all good. Don't worry.
because I shaved.
The bank race was interesting. Basically, this one guy, Joe Malacone, now I like to, in the same flavor as making sure we're telling an honest, fair, and balanced story.
Yeah.
It really wasn't all his fault. He committed fraud, right? He embezzled a lot of the money from the bank that he was in charge of. But the real problem came not when his bank closed, but because the insurance for the banks couldn't cover the bank's loss. The insurance went down, and that was a state-run program. That was the insurance, and it couldn't cover his thing. And so then all the state credit unions had to close.
Yeah.
And people were responsible. People couldn't get access to their money. They were responsible for still paying back their loans, though, and they still had to pay interest on their loans, but they couldn't get money to buy groceries for themselves and their families.
Yeah. That was before they were FDIC, right? Before the credit unions were FDIC.
Yes, exactly. So the FDIC existed, but the credit unions, because they were state chartered, weren't required to be on that federal insurance. And that's actually how a lot of them reopened fairly quickly, was that they just switched over to FDIC. But the FDIC had higher standards for the banks than RISDIC did, which is the Rhode Island insurance. And some of them didn't have the legitimate, they didn't have enough assets in their balance sheet or whatever, the requirements to qualify for federal insurance. And so they just had to stay closed until...
Was it a big turnaround? Was it a quick turnaround?
For some banks, it was next week. For credit unions.
Yeah.
But for others, it was a year and a half, 2 years, or something like that of people not being able to get their money out.
Man,
And
imagine that. And that always brings crisis and panic and
Yeah.
Almost.
Can you imagine? You got all your money, you can't have
Apocalyptic
access
All
to
your
it.
money can't get to it. Yeah.
Yeah. And Joe Malacone fled the state. He was nowhere to be found. He was everyone was looking for him. He was hiding out in
I'm outta
Utah. Yeah, he was hiding out in
Chicken.
Utah with his girlfriend.
Yeah, people's life savings tied up in the banks can get access to it. Crazy.
Yeah, and people were really mad at Joe Malacone.
yeah.
But again, it really wasn't his fault. Leading up to the crisis, there was a lot of state politicians and bankers and people who knew that the system was a little unstable, but didn't do anything because they were getting a good deal too. So there's pretty deep corruption there.
So you have a new tour that you said, or not new tour, but one that you said you really like to talk about, and when you were telling me about it before the show, it kind of fascinated me, is the Untold history.
Yeah, hidden history.
Hidden
So
history.
hidden
That
history is
sounds
really
cool.
fun.
Yeah.
There's so much. We're working on. So hidden history is running already.
Oh, okay.
Hidden history is it just tells historical stories that Rhode Islanders kind of generally pass over in history.
And where do you find these stories?
So this particular one, I actually hired a researcher to look into for us. Yeah,
Really?
so this Johnson & Wales professor of history, and he wrote this particular tour for us. And I supported and put it into. He came with a kind of a research paper, and I turned it into a tour. Yeah, and the stories are fascinating. We have a lot of really cool. We talk about the Narragansett people, for example, the Narragansett people of Rhode Island. We talk about enslaved people who helped to build Providence.
Yeah.
We talk about enslaved people who ended up fighting in the Revolution on our behalf, even though they were forced to do it. We talk about John Brown and how he's kind of regarded as a great guy for the most part. But
Sally, right? Is that
Yes. Wow, very
Yeah.
impressive. Yeah. It's the
John
Sally
Brown
was the
slave ship.
Yeah. Isaac Hopkins sailed the Sally, and it was a slave ship.
Called the Sally.
The ship was called the Sally,
okay.
and it was disastrous. It was disastrous. Like
Bunch of
so
people
many people
died.
died
Yeah.
and
And
illness.
It was a John Brown, but literally the most woke people in Rhode Island are the people that go to Brown. But it's a school that's founded by a slaver.
or certainly named for him. Yeah. So
No kidding.
They're not
Yeah.
tearing those statues
How
down.
funny is
So
that?
they tried to. So there were two Browns. One was the guy that founded it. One was his brother.
Is that Moses
The
Brown?
money- no, but the money
Moses
came.
was also his brother, but
Was
a
he?
separate brother. Nicholas Brown was the brother.
Nicholas.
Nicholas.
Nicholas. Yeah, but they so one of them was a bad guy. One of them wasn't a bad guy. But nobody knows. Like nobody knows where the guy that founded Brown got his money, and they're like, no, he got his money from slaving.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, no, I got it from somewhere else. Like, no, they were slavers.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
he got it from
No
somewhere
way.
else. Yeah.
Yeah.
so-
Well,
I
the
did not
sta-
know
so
that.
that show that I was telling you about, I don't want to
Slatersville.
go into it too much because I want the guy to come on and tell us that story. He's going to come on and talk about it. But it was like this triangle, right? Like he would get molasses from the
triangular slave
Bahamas,
trade. Yep.
and he would bring it here. Moses Brown did this, and he would bring it here, turn it into rum, take it over to Africa, give them the rum, get the slaves on the ship, and then send it back to the Bahamas. And it was just a constant triangle like that.
Traded slaves for rum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. And so that was the Browns were really involved in that. And actually enslaved labor was used to help build the oldest building on Brown University's campus.
Really?
And so they have a dedicated they're trying to it seems like they have an effort that's trying to uncover that history and be honest about it, instead of just hiding from it.
So you're a part of that. You're a part of that uncovering.
Yeah, we're working on it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we're trying to be honest. That we point to a bunch of buildings that were helped build by enslaved people, and also talk about there was this one guy named Anthony Kinnickett who was a black guy, and he would sell provisions for ships, and he actually argued in the city of Providence that taxing him would be taxation without representation because he was a black man and he couldn't vote. And they actually gave him
It's true.
tax pass. They were
Yeah.
like, don't pay taxes. You're
No
right.
way.
Yeah, they gave it to him. Yeah.
No
Which I
kidding.
was like, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, they didn't give him the rights as a citizen,
Yeah,
but they
right.
gave him no taxes
didn't
on the
pay a
business.
tax.
Yeah. So he won in that short
It's a
scenario.
progression.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, he got
yeah,
something
yeah.
from it. Yeah. And another guy we talk about, Edward Bannister. Edward Bannister was an artist, a black artist who lived in Providence, and he went down to the centennial. So 1876 was the 100th year birthday of America. They were having this big festival in Philadelphia, and he entered his art in, and he actually won first place. But that's before they knew that he was
come
black.
on.
Ah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
no way.
he shows up, and they're like, "Ooh, you must not be the right person." And they try to take the award back, but then all the other artists in the contest say, "If you don't give him this award, we're all withdrawing our stuff." Yeah, so they stand up for him. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, and he becomes the first black artist to win a national award in American history. And
And
yeah,
when was that?
that was 1876. It was 100
so
years.
it's just after the Civil War.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's kind of a trailblazer. He helped found
Yeah.
the Providence Art Club. He was an instructor at RISD. So
That's fascinating.
There's a statue of him now by the water's edge there in Providence.
That's cool.
Yeah. So a lot of cool cool
pretty neat.
stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of cool stories that we like to shed some light on.
And you have a couple new tours you want to launch here, kind of like
Yeah.
you want to.
Yeah.
what
if you
are
guys are
doing?
interested in talking about it, I mean,
Hell yeah,
absolutely.
I love
Yeah.
history. I'm a huge
I love
history
history
guy.
too.
Yeah,
this
so-
is-
I just went and got my. Have you done it yet? Have you gone and got your lifetime free pass to the national parks? Because there's a national park in Providence. It's the Roger Williams.
Yeah. The National Memorial.
Like the smallest one in the country is right
Yeah.
in Providence. The dude is. I talked to the dude for like 10 minutes. He was given like a tour when I came in. Afterwards, I talked to him and I was like, wait a minute, dude, where are you from? He's like, I'm from Miami. I'm like, oh. He goes, but I love Rhode Island. This is great. Roger Williams is great. Roger Williams is a trailblazer. I love Rhode Island. It took me a while to realize that Rhode Island was my home, but I'm here. I'm like, this is great.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
not the zoo, right? You're not talking about the zoo. You're talking.
This is the zoo. Any place you are, Caleb, is the fucking zoo. No, I'm talking about over. If you go up South Main Street, right? You go by the courthouse. You go up another couple hundred meters or yards, and it's on the left there, and it's a little park. The park actually is like dots, different streets intersect. I don't know if it's the same park. But there's a little gray building there that you go in. You ask about Roger Williams, and this dude from Miami, who's a park ranger, is going to get all crazy excited and tell you about
him.
it. Oh my
yeah,
God,
they
dude.
love him. Yeah.
I'm gonna try it. My
You got to
wife,
go down there. You would love it. It's the type of stuff you always say.
Oh, they geek out.
You're
about
saying
Roger.
it from you're
Yeah.
saying it from weird websites.
yeah.
He's saying it from history. He's saying it from history.
what do you mean I'm
know?
saying it from weird websites?
About separation of church and state and this and that and blah blah and all that stuff.
I don't
You know
talk
what I mean?
about that stuff.
No, right.
My wife works in Providence, so she probably
really?
knows.
Dude, you got to go.
Yeah.
I've been a couple times, and it's both times to get my. So originally, before I retired, they gave you like a 1 year free national park pass if you're a veteran or in the military.
Yeah.
And now it's like lifetime.
I had one of them already.
Oh, cool.
Because they're like, why would if we give it to veterans, why do you have to come back every year?
Yeah.
Just give it lifetime. So I went down and got my lifetime one. I literally did it last week. It was
I got
great.
Nice.
I got mine at Fort Clinch in St. Augustine.
Nobody know what that is. Okay.
It's in Florida. It's a fort.
I know what everyone knows what St.
Spanish-American
Augustine is.
War.
Nobody knows what Clinch is.
Yeah, I'm with him on this one.
That
I've
was
never heard of that.
yeah. That's
just
no Roger
saying.
Williams Park.
I'm just saying that's
No
where I
Roger
got
Williams
mine.
National Memorial.
Just saying that's where I got mine.
Yeah, but they love Roger Williams there. Like they
yeah. Oh,
talk
yeah.
about Roger Williams till
The guy was so
blue in the
animated.
face.
I
Yeah,
was
they
like,
love
oh
him.
my
They just
God.
love him. They
So
can't get enough.
is that what your new tours are about? Like, or no?
Not well, maybe. I haven't fully flushed that out yet. The new tours that I'm launching I'm doing a ghost tour.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I'm doing the ghost tour because everyone can't get enough of ghost tours. People love ghost tours. I have had enough of ghost tours already. I gotta tell you, I don't like ghost tours. I find them too theatrical, too much.
How are you
But,
going to beat the one on the gondola though?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
'Cause
and
I've
so-
been to that one.
Yeah, so that's
Have you
cool.
been to a gondola?
How about the Cumberland Monastery? That's like a huge haunted.
He's in Providence.
I'm in Providence.
That's
Yeah,
9
sorry.
Men's Misery. You know what 9
Yeah,
Men's
yeah,
Misery
yeah.
is? The oldest veterans memorial in the country. 9 Men's Misery.
9 Men's
Really?
Misery.
Oldest one in the country.
You know what's
I
funny?
was there recently.
My
actually,
phone
yeah.
number comes up like
It does. I was
it
going to
comes
say
up
that.
as
Yeah.
my phone ID comes up as 9 Man's Misery for some
Oh,
reason.
you're only 2 Man's Misery.
I don't know why, but it does.
You know?
That was pretty good, actually.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
That's funny.
Anyway, continue.
But yeah, so we got a couple of cool things coming up. So the ghost tour, so it's a skeptics ghost tour. I like to call it the skeptics ghost tour. I'm calling it the Real Ghosts of Providence. It's got a sort of historical bent to it. We're talking about real stories. We talk about that the slaying on the Narragansett, for example, the Prohibition bit. We also talk about how ghost hunters live in Rhode Island, and they came to Providence City Hall overnight, and they found some evidence of some hauntings there. And the cool story on that one that I really like is Amasa Sprague's murder. So Sprague is a big Rhode Island name. This guy was a governor, and he was a senator. His brother was killed by, well, I guess we still don't know who, but this guy named John Gordon got framed for it.
Yeah, that's why we abolished the death penalty. Yeah.
Continue to impress me, Jason.
1845.
Hire him.
Incredible.
Let him
Just
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Cranston, over near where Cranston
Yeah.
Print Works is.
That's Mesa Sprague owned that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Maybe you
yeah,
should flush that-
fantastic. I'm
hire
really
Jason.
impressed.
Hire Jason.
Maybe you should flush that Marine degree and start getting a tour.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Get a tourism.
I'll give a tour. I'll give a tour. Are you kidding me? As long as I can drink on it, I'm your man.
We can talk about it.
Now,
I'm your man.
how would you do in a monsoon though?
Big Yeti cup.
Damn it,
you
I'm
do-
a Green
would you
Beret.
do it-
I don't rain beads off me.
But would you do what
I'm so
Isabella,
oily.
Isabella did though? Like, would you be like?
No, I'd just stay in the restaurant and drink. I would just stay and drink. She went above and beyond. She's like, I gotta go out there. I'm like, where everyone's like, no, don't go
Don't
out there.
do
She's like,
it.
I
You
gotta
tipped her,
go.
right? You tipped her
She
well. I
went, and she
assume.
went. Oh yeah, we tipped her really well. Yeah, she did a great job.
That's awesome. I'm glad you went
There were
on.
only 2 couples. I had to tip her really
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
You know?
that's true. Yeah, small group. Yeah,
Yeah, it was a small
can't
group.
hide behind the rest of the group. Yeah.
So a skeptic's ghost tour. That
Yeah,
sounds
Skeptics
interesting,
Ghost Tour.
actually.
Yeah, so we focus on the history. And let's say, well, Mesa Sprague, John Gordon was an Irish immigrant, and he was an easy person to pin it on, basically. He didn't have a lot of connections or anything like that. They found a gun at the scene, couldn't find his gun, and basically said, well, that means that's proof that that must be yours, and you hit it. Yeah, and that was pretty much the whole thing. And then they found his gun, but they said, oh, well, it's too late now. You can't submit evidence now. Yeah, and so they hung him. They hung him in the state prison.
I mean, I guess that is kind of too late. Once he's hung, you can't really.
Well, no, it was before they hung him. It was before they hung him. But yeah, so the state prison where he was hung is actually today the same spot as the Providence Place Mall.
No way.
Yeah, so we like to think that his ghost was haunting the mall.
Probably
with
is.
the
Was it haunting that illegal apartment that those people had?
That
was a John Gordon illegal apartment.
That was his apartment.
That was maybe his apartment.
That's where he was staying.
That was his ghost apartment.
That's why people would hear noises. What is that? I hear music. And I hear people laughing and glasses clinking. It's John Gordon.
It's John Gordon. Oh, it's just a ghost. Yeah, don't worry about it. But yeah, so that's the ghost tour coming up. And the other one I'm excited about is the Federal Hill dinner stroll. So we're finding that a lot of people.
A dinner stroll?
Yeah, dinner stroll. Yeah, so a lot of people.
That's where you're gonna do like the bows with the what you were saying. The snob. The
high
snob
class stuff.
The
drink snob.
That's
drink
the aesthetics.
snobs.
So the idea here is that on Crime and Cuisine, we're getting a lot of feedback that people really like it, but there also is an appetite for more food focused experience. And we're gonna do this after work. It's gonna be in place of dinner, and it's gonna be, we're gonna call it not a tour guide but a tour host. And they're just going to bring you through this 4-course meal across 4 different Federal Hill restaurants. Yeah, so
that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, so we're really excited about it. We just did a test run in July with my buddies, and they loved it. Okay. And yeah, it's pretty awesome.
When do those
Wait,
launch?
we're buddies now, so next time next time there's a test run.
Yeah.
You guys hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can't hear myself.
I can hear you very well. You're like,
Yeah, you're coming through.
you're like blowing out the sound.
No, because I can't hear myself.
I'm gonna have a lot of editing to do for your vocals.
Sorry. I'll quiet down. I can't hear myself.
No, it's okay.
But anyway,
You want me to turn your volume up?
anytime
Yeah.
when you want to do the pound a bunch of beers tour.
Yeah, found a bunch of
I was gonna
beers.
say, I'm in.
You want to test people to do that?
Oh yeah,
We'll find the best ones.
yeah.
Good.
We're gonna take you to everywhere you can pound beers. It's gonna be jerkies and the beer mug, not the beer mug.
Oh no, the beer mug.
Keg
hasn't
room.
come on
The
there.
keg room.
Leave your
Keg
spike
recess.
at home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Leave your spike at home.
Oh yeah, the recess. I remember that place.
25-cent drafts.
Yep.
Wow,
Oh, back in.
good place.
We're
Back in the
old.
day.
We're
Yeah.
old. I'm old.
Yeah, no doubt.
These guys
25
aren't as
cents.
old.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I remember that 25-cent drafts.
you
Yeah,
part of
25-cent drafts up till 9 p.m. Then
You get like a mini pitcher.
Jay, are you like part of the VFW? Do you ever go to the VFW?
I used to belong to the VFW, and then the VFW in Cumberland ended up being the Cumberland Union Hall. So, and then the problem was the VFW was a bunch of World War II and Korean guys, and some Vietnam, but those guys went there religiously.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have kids and I think youth sports killed these clubs because they can't even the American Legion in Cumberland, right? Post 14 can't get people to come and join because they want younger blood, more people, but they have kids and kids are doing stuff every weekend and you don't have the time you used to have.
It's insane.
Well, I know they had cheap beer.
Oh yeah, no, they don't have such cheap beer anymore because they're trying to survive, so they had to increase the prices. But yeah.
Derailed. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off that track.
No,
I was just talking about
I'm
cheap
actually
beer.
interested in that because so I'm getting married in September.
In a VFW?
Congratulations.
And
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And
Don't fucking do it.
it's not in not a VFW.
That word out.
It's scheduled for Colt State Park actually in Bristol. We're excited
nice.
about it. Yeah, it's gonna
I'm
be really nice.
officiant. by the
After
way.
Samuel Colt.
Oh yeah, that's
No, it's not. It's not.
yeah.
Is it?
Pomeroy. Yeah,
see how it
absolutely.
really after
Samuel
Samuel
Colt,
Colt?
Yeah.
Is it?
What other
Okay,
Colts
it is.
are there? Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I'll say, see how he did that?
Yeah,
Such confidence.
The confidence. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
I'm an
Yeah.
officiant, by the way.
Oh really?
No, I'm
Oh
just
good. Well, our buddy's gonna do it for us. Thanks.
Yeah.
I don't want to
But
do it anyway. No,
but
I'm just
the
But you don't want the ghosts that are in his closet.
Yeah.
I hang out with them every night.
The backup. So my grandma's grumbling about the fact that it's going to be outside. What if it rains? All this stuff. And so we're looking for like an affordable place that we can hold just in case. And we're looking at VFWs. We're looking at American Legion, stuff like that.
Nice. You ever think about having it in a warehouse?
I
know a guy.
What about a tavern?
Oh, we can do it right here. Under 50 people squeezing in here. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a window over there, right? We could just let people look in, kind of like I mean, it's kind of like an execution chamber, right?
Oh,
you
what?
get married.
Yikes.
Oh, God.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. Anyway, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
I appreciate
Cheers.
it.
Cheers.
Hey, appreciate
Cheers.
that. Yeah.
Is she involved in the tours and everything?
She's so great because she listens to me talk about Rhode Island history quite a bit, but she's not personally very interested in it.
Is she from Rhode Island?
No, we're actually both from New Jersey originally.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
New Jersey teaching Rhode Islanders about Rhode Island.
I know, it's terrible, right? It's terrible.
I'm from
Yeah.
Florida. I'm not from Rhode Island either. So
Oh, really?
Jacksonville boy.
yeah, I'm a Jacksonville boy.
Jacksonville.
This is for Greg, suburban country boy.
How is Jacksonville?
Man, it feels like when I was there, it was a lot different place.
Yeah.
Because I went back. It's about 20 years since I had left there when I went back, and I feel like it had gone. It was a different place. I felt like it had gone downhill. Like
It's gone
was
down.
Yeah, I mean, but Jacksonville's just it's a military town. That's all it ever really was.
It's a big town.
It is
Yeah.
huge. It's one of the biggest landmass wise.
Yeah.
In the U.S. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it has some emerging hot spots. But I lived kind of like on the north east side of town, and that was not really like
Where the rattlesnakes were, because he used to handle the rattlesnakes. Like, oh, Lord won't let them bite me. I'm faithful. You know what I mean?
You're an ass. Yeah, no, I lived at the end of a mile-long dirt road.
Too bad he never got bit. You know what I mean?
Who knows I did? How do you know I didn't? No, there was a pond. There was a pond on this street that I lived, and we would have somebody sit on the bank and watch for bubbles in the pond because it was either a water moccasin, an alligator, or some other
Thing that wanted to eat you.
But yeah, well, they probably did want to. I mean, I'm tasty.
Oh, not without that beard, you're not.
I look young. Anyways, sorry, derailed again.
Oh, all good.
So, yeah, so the ghost tour and
Ghost tour and the dinner stroll.
Dinner stroll.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And when do those launch?
We're looking to do September this year. Yeah.
September.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna take my wife on one. Have you ever been to that grow glass place over there?
Gather glass?
Gather.
Yeah,
Yes.
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried to get in. That's one of the things I try to do.
What is it?
It's you
blow your
blow
own
glass.
Oh, you blow your own glass?
Yeah,
blow your own
you
glass.
walk away with your own cup.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, really?
You've made yourself. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But I tried to do it, and like everything, I went out, and it's like I tried to do two, because there's it's a date thing, and and I kept saying no, too many. So I don't know if they were overbooked or if they just do one person at a time.
No, they do a lot of business. Usually they do groups.
Yeah.
But they do great. They're constantly
are.
busy.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it sold out.
I took my wife there for a date night, and there was nobody. It was just me and her, and it was very fun. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe
They
you
teach you about it. You get to roll it in the.
And
in
it
the-
was,
the
yeah.
can. Yeah.
And you like blow it and all the stuff.
Yeah, it's fun.
Shut up.
Skills I didn't know you had, Caleb. Skills I didn't know you had.
There's a lot of innuendo actually
I
in
am
glass
the-
blowing. Everything is like sex jokes the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. So, Bradley,
Yes.
tell us, where can people find you?
Oh, it's I'm everywhere. Yeah, it's
Everywhere.
Providence Tour Company is the name of the business, and the handle is PVD Tour Co.
PVD Tour. And I actually have it put it on the lower third of
Yes.
the overlay.
On the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, I took them. I'm having them going right to the tour page.
Oh, perfect.
I'll tell you where I found you. I just typed in on Google 10 best things to do in Providence,
and we came
and
up.
You came up.
Hey,
No way. That's
there
good
we go.
marketing.
That's
Your
great.
marketing's working.
Yeah, I'm paying good money
exactly.
for it. I hope it's working. Yeah.
Yeah. And there were there were 2 times. You do like a 1 o'clock, or you did a 1 o'clock and a 4 o'clock, or something like that.
Yeah. So we do.
I think they were back in June. It was like a 1 and a 4.
We try to do. We've tightened it up now. We only offer one, and then when that one fills up, we open up the other one. So we'll do 2 p.m. and then if that one gets full, we open up the 1, and then if it opens up, we'll do the 12.
So maybe it was 2 and 2 and something. But
Yeah, 2
yeah,
and
we
1
did.
probably.
I wanted a later one anyway, so I was
Gotcha.
I was, trying to get that one. But I noticed there was an earlier one that I didn't go on.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all online. People can go to your website. It's on the lower third there. Mm-hmm. That they'll see all the times. And prices. And
follow us on Instagram and stuff. Yeah, we
Instagram.
always got.
What is your handles on Instagram?
Oh, PVD Tour Co as well.
PVD PVD
Tour
Co.
That's right.
And that's all your handles.
Everything consistent. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have one more thing I want to talk about. I feel like because Greg's not here tonight, he wanted to ask you, how did the Speaker of the House become more important or more powerful? Yes.
Than the governor. Yeah, that's a great question. And so Rhode Island, historically and maybe currently, is a corrupt state.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, and actually, it goes back to that period of high immigration where we had in late 1800s, early 1900s, the cities, the urban population of Rhode Island was exploding, but we still had a Senate that was based on a town vote. So like Providence had 1 senator and Little Compton had 1 senator. Mm-hmm. Providence had a voting population of like 18,000. Little Compton had a voting population of like 70, and they had the same amount of power. You know, and so what the party would do, I think it was actually the Republican Party into the 1800s, up until the 40s when T.F. Green turned it around. Who we all know for the airport, right? Yeah. But what they would do is they'd go out to the border towns, like the Exeters, the smaller towns that didn't have, probably Cumberland, honestly, and just buy the votes. They would stand outside the polling thing and say, hey, $5 you vote for whatever, to the point where it was so bad that the voters in these smaller towns on the fringe wouldn't show up if there was no one paying them to do it. Because they were so used to getting
Brad,
paid.
why didn't you do that?
Yeah.
I was about to say. Well, because the other side does that.
Yeah, it was so corrupt that people were like, oh, no one's paying? All right, I'm going to stay home today. It was crazy. And so eventually the law changed and there was started to be some more power to the voters. And so the Rhode Island government, which was pretty much like the General Assembly elects the speaker, and they still do. Sorry, let me back up. The people of Rhode Island do not elect the Speaker of the House, right?
No.
The people of Rhode Island elect their representative, and the representative elects the Speaker, which is a great setup for the machine politicians, right? Because you kind of maintain power here, and then you pick who you want that's separate from the voter conversation. Yep. The governor is not like that. Right? The governor gets now directly elected by the people. Yep. So the governor is theoretically a more direct expression of democracy. When the machine politicians found that their candidate wasn't going to win the governor race, they stripped the governor of all ability to do things by themselves and put it all in the Speaker of the House because they had more control over who got picked for that. So that's why the governor can't stop a budget from becoming law, right? Like, even if the governor doesn't sign the Rhode Island budget, it still becomes law because it's not their job anymore.
Really?
So that's kind of a leftover thing from when machine politicians were running it.
So is that just in like Rhode Island, or is that all of the all through the towns? Like, is that how do you think that's how it works in the town hall?
Well, there are now the senators and the reps. They crossed town borders, so they did gerrymandering, and they not gerrymandering is wrong word, but they redistricted everybody. Mm-hmm. So they crossed I don't think there's a single one of our representatives or senators that don't have a little section of a different town.
Right. But I'm talking about locally, like in the town council. Like, I feel like the speaker or the president of the council has way more power than the mayor.
Well, I think it depends on who's on the council.
I mean, so the council, the bodies of government that make laws, right? It's either the council or the House/Senate. They create in towns ordinances. But theoretically, the mayor should be able to veto something.
Yeah.
But unless if it's tightly controlled, then it goes back to the council
Yeah.
and override the veto, right?
Yeah.
So I think it does depend on the town.
Interesting.
Also, there's a lot fewer people in those councils than there are, so it's a lot harder.
I understand that.
Yeah, a lot easier to affect change at a much local level. So it might not be as pervasive in the towns as it is at the state level.
Because I go to a lot of the town council meetings, and because I do, on the side, I do like investigative journalism,
Right.
if you want to call it that. But I go and
We do want to call it that.
We do want to call it
That
that.
is what
We
we're
do.
going.
Yes. So
We don't want to do it like make it off your ass journalism.
no, right.
You're
But it
right.
just
Yeah.
feels weird saying you're a journalist.
Yeah,
I'm a
giving yourself the
journalist.
credit,
You know
right?
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I go there and I video and I live stream a lot of the town council meetings. And what I notice is that the mayor comes in, he brings ordinances and resolutions. He brings resolutions, right? He brings in a resolution, and the resolution is always give the mayor permission to do this. Give the mayor permission to do this. And as long as he's got a bunch of rubber stamps on the table, he always gets to do what the resolution says. But I feel like if that council or if that person on the table decided that they didn't want
They didn't like
to
that.
do that,
Yeah.
they had a lot more power to me.
to
Does
effectively
that make
not do
sense to
that.
you, or
It makes sense, but
it's not how it works?
no, because there's only one party in Cumberland. There's only the Democratic
Yeah,
Party.
that's true. But
And
I'm
even
talking
though
about in theory,
even though the
though.
council is nonpartisan,
Partisan, yeah.
there's only the Democratic Party to support you.
Yeah.
There's no. We had a little thing. We had 11 candidates. We
Yeah.
had a bunch of people. We had a bunch of money. You know, we went out. We did, but it's not what they had. They kept saying that. They kept putting in the paper, oh, it's a bunch of people fighting us. We had like 20 people.
Independence.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have a
We had like
whole
11
independent-
candidates and like 8 more people and some people volunteering. They have a Democratic Party that has 95 people in the town. You
machine.
know what I mean? It's like, and they're like, well, it's a bunch
Machine's
of
real.
and they put in the paper a full page ad with all of their candidates. We had a loosely bound people, like guys who were just going to do the right thing for Cumberland, but we were like a coalition of people again. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
no,
we-
you're
yeah.
a coalition.
Yeah.
We're not a
Yeah.
coalition.
You ran
We're the
for a
newcomer.
political party, didn't you?
Yeah, I
Do
ran
you want
for
to talk
s-
about it, or is that too?
No, I don't mind. Yeah,
is
that's
that
fine
too
with me.
Embarrassing.
No, I don't care. No, it's okay. It's been a couple of years. Yeah,
What'd
no,
you
I
run for?
I ran for city
Hey,
council in Providence.
it's been less than a year for him. It's got to be.
Yeah, I know.
It's got to sting
Yeah.
that.
So we're
Yeah.
gonna call you Nacho then.
Yeah.
Nacho,
Nacho
City Council.
Councilman. Yeah, it's it's losing sucks.
yeah, it's
yeah,
hard.
it's
Yeah, no
terrible.
doubt.
And then everyone you bump into, they're like,
Hey,
"Oh, how about that
for me,
thing?"
winning
Yeah.
sucks.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I didn't do a thing. And I'm
No, you
sitting there,
didn't.
and I'm sitting there, and numbers are coming in. I'm like, they're gonna level out. I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna level out. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was definitely a somber mood in our victory party.
So he's on a school committee. by
Right,
the
right,
way.
right. You
Okay,
mentioned.
okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah, you
Just
mentioned.
make-
Two out of the 10 or 11 got in.
yeah.
That's basically what happened.
So you're gonna run again, or you don't know right now?
Maybe
You just-
one day. I mean, the person who won my race was someone who I think deserved to win.
okay.
Honestly, they
That's very.
yeah, her,
noble of you.
yeah. Her name is Sue. She's I mean,
Girl named Sue.
girl named Sue.
Boy
yeah,
named
Sue
Sue.
Anderbois.
Boy named Sue.
Boy
Yeah.
named Sue. See, I can call
Oh,
you
boy
out on
named
that.
Sue.
Boy named Sue.
Oh yeah, that's actually true. You got that. He gets that part. But yeah, Sue Anderbois, she's great. I mean, she's so dedicated. She's got a lot of experience working with policy and stuff like that. And I have great admiration for her. And after she won, we've met and she took some of my interests really seriously, and she started advocating for some of the stuff that I really cared about. So I have nothing but respect for her. I think she's great.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I told you the same thing. I ran against a guy who I talked to for a couple hours at a local brewery, and we had to meet the candidates. We him and I were school committee. Not many people came up to talk to school committee people, and we talked for hours, and we were like on the same page, agreed. I thought to myself, this guy would make a great school committee member. He's going to do everything I would do. I didn't run.
Yeah.
And I don't know, for whatever reason, the name or the,
They elected the wrong dean.
No. In hindsight, they elected the right dean. No,
He said nobody talks to the school committee, but ever since he's been on it, they've showed up quite a few times to talk to him.
Oh, there's pitchforks and torches. There's been some pitchforks and torches.
He's what we
sure.
call a grenade.
Oh yeah, are you controversial?
That's why he's the boogeyman of Cumberland.
That's
I don't
why.
think I'm think I'm controversial. I don't think I'm controversial.
Oh yeah.
I put in the
No,
paper.
they make it controversial.
No, I put in the paper what I was gonna do, and I'm doing it.
yeah,
Right?
100%.
I don't care. You could parade every kid, 5,200 kids in a school, that go to school in Cumberland in front of me and beg me not to. I said, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
That sounds insensitive.
What are you gonna do? Is the question.
He was a Green Beret, so he's used to being
I'm
insensitive.
used to everyone wanting to kill
tough.
me, and wherever I go, people want me dead.
Ugh, tough.
Only
tough way to
those
live.
bullets instead of words. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Whatever.
Sticks and stones.
But
Anyway.
listen, listen, the motto of the Green Beret is "De oppresso libere," to free the oppressed, right? And
Interesting.
And I am going to free the oppressed, and the oppressed are the teachers, not the admin,
No.
not the 71% increase in 10 years in admin, and a 0% increase in teachers or whatever minuscule increase in teachers. No, the oppressed are the students and the teachers, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to free the oppressed,
Nice.
right?
Or at least try.
At least try.
Or die trying.
absolutely.
Die trying, yeah. And we saw that article, right? The article about the lawsuit,
Yeah.
Yep.
right? Like 97% of all of the comments were pro the teacher,
Yep.
right?
Yep,
That's a
100%.
freaking problem.
And we broke that
You broke that
Yeah, we
months
broke
before, right?
before the breeze did.
That's
Good
a
on
problem.
That's cool.
97% of those articles are
that's a
saying, yeah. And you know what? You know what the school committee is going to do, other than two of us that suggested we do a survey of all the teachers, and the school committee is going to. Oh no, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
Executive session.
Yeah. Executive session.
Close door.
Executive session.
Close the
Nothing to
files.
see here.
Close the files. Hurry up, seal 'em. Seal
Nothing
'em.
to see here. I'm sorry, you're not privy to a lot
I'm
of this.
sorry.
No,
local
I'm
stuff,
really
but
interested.
yeah.
Like I gotta tune in.
No, it is, and you would think school committee is nothing, right? We meet five times a month up until school let out, but we were like, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Our lawyer is probably last year he made $480,000. The lawyers they paid,
Holy shit.
right. This year it's going to be more. I guarantee it's going to end up being more.
Wow.
And they're meeting because of him.
That's crazy.
No, they're not mean.
No,
'cause
I'm
of me.
just joking.
I can't wait to read about this later. I don't know what's going on, but I can't wait to know more about it.
I'm going to tell you why. It's meeting because because we as a school committee are enabling it to happen.
Yeah.
We are
supposed to be the
enabling
checks
it
and
to
balances.
happen. We're supposed to be checks and balances, and we're not. When I say we, I mean us as a group are supporting our party, and it's not my party. I don't have a party, and we're
Yes, you do.
nonpartisan.
The Publican Party.
Republican. I'm a publican. I am a publican. You know what that is? Publican. It's a guy who owns a bar. I don't own a bar. I want to be a publican. One of our first episodes.
Public.
Ireland, they call them publicans.
But
Nice.
but I'm going to tell you, us collectively. I'm not speaking for the school committee.
Yeah.
Sticking our heads in the sands and letting this happen is hurting the town. It's hurting the
100%.
town.
Yeah.
Hurting the town.
Well, what's the easy way to go?
Yep, it's an easy way to go.
And
you know?
I think that's a great way to bring the show back
Oh, yeah.
down.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. I got passionate a little for a second.
That's great. I'm happy to see you have passion
be a
for
clip.
it. I think it's important that the
There'll be
leaders
clips.
have passion for it.
It gives us our clip. No, just
No, the clip about the Providence Tour Company can't be the school committee, blah, 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 blah. You know, I can't. Hey, it's like, what are you doing in Providence? The school committee in Cumberland, blah, 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 blah. You know?
and anyway, so
That's funny.
Providence Tour Co.
That's
PVD
right.
Tour Co.
That's right.
That's where everybody finds you.
That's it.
And anything else you want to shout out before we derail this thing?
No,
It's already been
thanks for
derailed.
having me on. No,
I
thanks for
gotta tell you,
chatting.
Yeah, appreciate coming
As
on.
the only guy, other than you, I'm sure, that has taken the tour, I highly
recommend.
Highly
I'm
recommend
going
it.
to take
Thanks
the
for
tour.
the
I'm
highly
thanks for the
recommend it.
endorsement.
No doubt about
No,
it.
that's
In fact,
crazy.
I'm going to be
Sounds
calling
great.
you
It's great.
next week.
Let me know.
Listen, I've lived in Rhode Island my whole life. You know, I've been away, but I come back, and I've lived in Rhode Island my whole life. I have been on Atwell's Ave dozens and dozens and dozens of times. Right? I have, like, I've been in Venda. Right? That was
sure.
out of the six places, right? That the tour company goes through. I've been in Venda. That was it. The rest of them, I'm like, this place is great. This place
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
This place is great. I've been in a dozen places on Atwell's, but like, you discover new places.
Yeah.
We should do a Cumberland Unfiltered PVD Tour Co.
Yeah,
experience.
visit.
Live, like a
Absolutely.
live-
Yeah,
Come
there
on
we go.
down.
Do it live.
An
Live on the
experience.
tour.
Live on the
Right?
tour. Oh, I love that.
Do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
It was great. It was great. And the person I went with, who was a extreme critic,
Yes.
had a great time.
Incredible.
That's
Unbelievable
more than
time.
I
Oh,
can
I'm
ask
glad
for.
to hear it.
And
Yeah.
it was a monsoon and rain. It was
Yeah.
it was a great time. It was a
Yeah,
great time.
we are finding people are falling back in love with Federal Hill when they
Yeah.
come
We're
on
We're
it.
gonna,
Yeah,
that's
we're gonna
awesome.
clip that and let you put that as a promo.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah, great.
Great.
All
That was
right.
great.
So for our listeners, just follow us at Cumberland Unfiltered at all of our social media platforms. It's just Cumberland Unfiltered, just like yours is PVD Tour Co. Ours is Cumberland Unfiltered.
Nice.
That's YouTube, Rumble, all the audio channels. And if you like the show, go visit him and his tour company,
Hell yeah.
Providence Tour Company.
That's right. That's it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share.
Caleb,
wrap.
grow the beard
But-
back, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, get the
You
grow
messed
back.
up my that's a wrap.
Yeah, that baby face shit doesn't work.
Man, grow that beard back.
That's a wrap.
That-